this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you? Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. There's Charles W. Chuck Bryant.
AKA 286-547523.
Dude, you can't give out your social security number.
I just made that up.
I thought about that. I thought about, what if I, ended up, when we were describing, what the different numbers were?
Yeah.
I was like, well, mine happens to be this one. If you listen to the whole podcast, you could put together my social security number. And I was like, don't do that, Josh. Don't.
We should probably beep out what I said anyway, because that might be someone else's social security number.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't want to be responsible for that.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go back and beep that out. That's really some COA right there. Why? How do you know that person would be like, yeah, Stuff You Should Know just called me out serial number wise?
I win a contest. I can pay for my own hotel in Atlanta to go see the guys.
But just me. So, Jerry liked that one.
Yeah.
So, Chuck.
Josh.
Do you know much about Social Security?
A bit.
You're about to. Chuck.
Yes.
The Social Security Act of 1935.
Yes.
Created by our old-timey forebears.
Uh-huh.
Basically created a scheme, and not a scheme in the way of a carbon trading scheme or something like that. I know you don't like that word, but it's a legitimate word. It doesn't necessarily mean something nefarious.
Right.
But under this scheme, Social Security is given to retiring workers.
Yes.
In the form of a monthly payment, where basically it says, "Hey, good job. You did a good job working. Go take care of yourself. We don't want you to die on the street."
Sure.
This should hopefully sustain you in your retirement years, right? This is before the advent of 401ks and the like.
Right. This $35 a month.
Right. Well, the whole basis of it is that the workers of today pay into the Social Security fund,
mm-hmm.
and it is immediately taken and dispersed to workers who have retired
Today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the workers of today are taking care of the workers of yesterday. That's
right.
The whole point to it. What this has led some people to claim that the Social Security program is nothing more than a Ponzi scheme, where you're taking the money of these people to pay off other people.
Yeah. Or socialism even.
Oh, that's totally different. It is socialism.
Yeah, but people cry socialism a lot these days, and they don't think about things like Social Security and all the different ways we do have socialism that people are like, oh, that's fine.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
But you can make a case that it is a Ponzi scheme.
Sure.
But Stephen Goss, chief actuary for the Social Security Administration, would take issue with that.
I'm sure he would.
He would say it's not a Ponzi scheme because a Ponzi scheme is not sustainable.
Some might argue that Social Security is not sustainable, and that is, as we say here in the South, that's a whole nother show.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't talk about it anymore then.
Well, what, do you have some numbers on its sustainability?
Well,
we can chat about it.
Here's the thing. So if you had zero population growth, this thing would work forever.
Right.
Right? And it would work completely efficiently with no changes whatsoever. Unfortunately, we don't have zero population growth, and we actually had a spike in population that we know of as the baby boom.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that very shortly, and starting now, I think, there will be way more retired workers than there are workers.
Right.
Which means that the workers of today are going to have far greater burden placed on them taking care of these retired workers than any other workers ever have or will.
Right.
But Stephen Goss, chief actuary for the Social Security Administration, says this will eventually work itself out. The government's taken steps to address this. And what it's done is raise the amount of money that people throw into this. And they're taking the extra money, and the government is buying treasury bonds, investing in itself. Now, here's the weird thing. When they come mature, these bonds, the government pays these things off with other tax money. So the government is going to pay the Social Security fund back with other tax money.
Yeah.
Now, this will drive people crazy. Conservatives, libertarians,
liberals,
right-leaning liberals, right? fiscally conservative liberals especially. But Stephen Goss assures us it's just a little bump. We're probably not going to have another population spike for a while, and Social Security will go right back to normal. It just stinks for us right now.
Right. The other thing that I'd never really thought about is it could not have been a sustainable program even to begin with, because you start Social Security in, when was it, 1935?
Yeah.
People started getting paid out, a year later, 2 years later.
Uh-huh.
And so they weren't paying in that long. So immediately you've got a problem on your hands because people are starting to get payouts that didn't pay in for 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that is the case. But the payouts were smaller at first.
Yeah, but it still creates a bit of a wrinkle, I think, a wrinkle in time for the future.
I agree.
I would think so.
But it was a hump that had to be gotten over, and it was gotten over. Like, basically the first people just got screwed.
Yeah, well, but they didn't pay in that much either, though, so.
No, and that's true. So they were rightly screwed.
Okay.
So let's talk about the history of all this, Chuck. And by the way, I guess the takeaway from that intro, Social Security is considered a what?
A Ponzi scheme.
There you go. I think people are just sitting there like, say it.
I know. All right. Well, you already blew the big secret there. So, the Act of 1935. It was coined. The name Social Security was coined by Abraham Epstein.
Yeah.
Who led the American Association for Social Security.
Yeah.
And they began paying out in 1937, like you said.
Yeah.
Just for workers, right? In 1937.
It was the biggest wage earner of a household, basically the dad.
Right.
Got the money.
As the retiree.
Yeah, and it was a lump sum.
Right. They didn't pay it in monthly buckets back then.
Tell him what the first guy who got Social Security got, his lump sum.
Yeah, his lump sum was it 17 cents?
Yeah. In January 1937, he was the first guy to get Social Security benefits. And I looked it up. That's $2.55 in 2010 money.
Oh, well.
So even back then, he was just like, hey, federal government, I got something in my pocket for you.
Yeah. Josh just made an obscene gesture. We should just say that. In 1939, just 2 years later, they added survivors' benefits and benefits to spouses and children. Flash forward to 56, they added disability benefits. 65, Medicare was signed into law.
Yeah.
And in 61, in 61, 62, the Civil Service Commission and the IRS adopted the Social Security number as your official federal ID number and taxpayer ID number,
right,
respectively.
Which is a kind of a thing because the first Social Security cards specifically said on them not to be used as identification.
Yeah.
But they never made a follow-up law to enforce it, and
right.
so everybody's like, no, this is perfect for identification.
Yeah, I'll always remember it because of this card in my wallet.
We'll use the mark of the beast as identification.
The first numbers, because this is not just about Social Security, but more about the numbers, which is more interesting than I thought.
Slightly.
Yeah. It was, they were distributed through the post office because they didn't have field offices yet. So
it was nascent.
Yeah, 45,000 post offices took the initial task to type up these cards. They're called typing centers.
Yeah. So basically, this is the part I entitled Bureaucracy Ho, right?
Yeah.
The Social Security Administration contacted all employers in the United States and said, hey, this is a form SS4. Mm-hmm. And on it, you just list the number of employees you have working for you and mail it back to us. And so all the employers filled out, I have 15 employees, mm-hmm. and then mailed the SS4 back to the Social Security Administration. Social Security Administration opened up the SS4s, and they said, okay, this employer has 15 employees. So we're going to mail him 15 SS5 forms, which are basically signing up for your Social Security number.
Yeah.
Right? So they mailed the 15 back, probably in one package to the employer, and the employer distributed them among his employees. Mm-hmm. The employees filled out the SS5 forms, and they sent them back to the Social Security Administration. The Social Security Administration said, oh, okay, now we have these, and we're going to assign Social Security numbers, right?
Right.
The they said, hey, go to your post office. The post office gave them the Social Security numbers. The post office then sent that duplicate form to the Social Security Administration, who created the master file of all of these documents put together, which was your Social Security number file.
And that was sent to Maryland?
Yes, and then in Maryland is where it all came together.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, what came together there? The numbers, the numbering sequence?
The whole thing, your whole file.
Okay.
The block file.
That's right. So let's talk about the first numbers since we're there.
Who has it? And is it 001010001? Is that the first number?
No. Well, we should first say that no one knows for sure who got the very first card and the very first number, because they reckon about several 100,000 people applied in that first November of 1936.
So I didn't do the math, but I'm sure you could figure out statistically, and I'd be interested to hear how to do this. But if 100,000 people all got their card that day, and the post offices were open from like 8 to 5,
sure,
how many people were handed their Social Security number card simultaneously that day?
Right.
How many first people were there? There's got to be some awesome math equation to figure that out.
Yeah. Somebody should do that for us and send it in. Right. So they don't know officially who it was, but their first official record, they do know. It was a guy named John David Sweeney, Jr., and he had the Social Security number 055090001. And by O, I mean 0, of course.
Or ought. And he got his because the head of the Social Security Administration took it off the top of a stack and said, this is the first one.
That's right.
So there you go.
But they did offer that to, oh no.
They offered the 001 number, the lowest number.
Right.
On record.
Right. Before we get to there, though, John David Sweeney ironically died before he could collect his Social Security payments.
John David Sweeney's the one with the first Social Security number. So that is very ironic.
It is.
That's the fact of the podcast, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Because retirement age was 65 and he died at 61.
Yeah.
Today they handle it differently. It's a little confusing, but actually it's not that confusing. You just have to be good at math. Benefits are reduced by 0.5% for every month you retire before the age of 65.
Slacker.
Yeah. Or rich person.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So
back to the number 1, 0001 or whatever.
Yeah, the all-time low number holder, who always will be until we start recycling numbers if we ever need to.
We won't.
We may. We may. Her name is Grace D. Owen.
Uh-huh.
She is of Concord, New Hampshire.
Or Concord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we always get mail from people. It's like, oh, you pronounced it Nevada. It's Nevada. Or if we say Nevada, they say, hey, you pronounced Nevada incorrectly. It's Nevada.
No, it is Nevada. But I tell everyone that writes in from Nevada, only people from Nevada say Nevada. Everyone else says Nevada.
Right. Especially people in Missouri. So, Chuck, Grace D. Owen of Concord, New Hampshire, got the lowest number, 001010001 was her Social Security number.
Yeah.
It was. And she got that not because she was first in line, as we've said. A different guy got that low number, or a different guy got the first number and it wasn't low. She got it because of where she lived. Originally, the number scheming was based on, the first two numbers were based on the state you lived in.
Right. Starting northeast, moving westward.
Right. And so you had less than 50 possible primary numbers, the first three numbers.
Yeah, well, they didn't even have 50 at the time, did they?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So this is a total waste of digits. They
Right.
figured out very quickly, so they started assigning them to zip codes instead.
Right.
And we should talk about these numbers. Do you want to? Or are we there now?
Well, we are almost there, but you didn't mention that Grace Owen got that number. They actually offered it as an honor to John G. Winnett, the Social Security Board chairman, and John Campbell, the Federal Bureau of Old Age Benefits rep for Boston. They offered them both the number 001010001, and they both said,
no.
No thanks.
We are true bureaucrats, and that would be against the bureaucracy's rules.
That's right. And 17 cents to Ernest Ackerman, the first guy to get a payment.
Yes, but Ida Mae Fuller made out like a bandit.
This is exactly the problem.
This is not the problem. Mrs. Fuller did good things with her money. She bought herself an Edsel.
Yeah?
She invested in Webvan. She did great things.
She did.
So Ida Mae Fuller retired in November of 1939, and she was the first person to start collecting monthly benefits.
That's right.
So by the time Social Security payments, or by the time you had to start paying them, because another fact is that you can't opt out.
Yeah.
And the time she retired, she contributed a total of $24.75.
Yes.
Because of the Social Security scheme, by the time she died at age 100 in 1975, she collected a total of $22,888.92.
See? Not sustainable.
She wore like a bandana around her face like the rest of her life.
She did?
Yeah.
She was a Social Security bandit.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the numbers. Is that enough history?
I think so.
Okay.
So the first three numbers, they're called what? The area numbers?
Yes.
And like you said, they were originally from northeast to west. So like if you lived in New Hampshire, your first three numbers were going to be 001. Then they figured out that, well, that's stupid. Like we're going to have 50 states tops. So there's a whole number that we're not using.
Yeah.
Eventually we're going to need it because Social Security numbers aren't recycled. They're retired after the person dies, right?
That is true.
So then they started assigning them to zip codes. So that started using up a lot more numbers, right?
Yeah, zip code on the mailing address on the application form, which didn't necessarily indicate your residence. It was just wherever the mailing address was where you applied.
Right, exactly. When you were living, right. And it doesn't, mailing and residence is not the same address. Most times it is.
Sure.
But even still, like the place where I was born, it's not where I live now.
Oh, yeah, not even close.
So, right. So, I mean, you have a lot of weird numbers for the beginning.
Correct. In the early 70s, since 72 is when they started the zip code.
Yeah.
So I believe that I actually am one of the last years, since I was born in 71, last people to get the one based on the state.
Cool.
So I'm old-timey.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
That is something.
Yeah.
The next two numbers are group numbers. So you have your area number, and then the area number is broken into groups, 1 through 99.
Yeah, and this makes sense.
So the two numbers in the middle are you are that group of that zip code or that state, depending on how old you are.
Yeah, it was just a means to break it up and make it simpler for accounting and filing and all that stuff.
Right, because instead of just one group from an area or 999 possible areas,
yeah,
you now have 99 groups of 999 possible areas, 99 groups each,
yeah,
which allows for a lot more because the 8 ball that the Social Security number is always behind is basically running out of numbers.
I don't think that'll happen.
It will.
Well, eventually, but there's what they say, 1 billion combinations?
There's 1 billion combinations, but consider this. There's been more than 400 million numbers issued since 1935.
Yeah.
So what, 65, 77 years.
Yeah.
Right? I have a feeling that it does take into account the baby boom that ate up a lot of numbers. But I mean, I have a feeling that we could reach that in another 100 years. The U.S. will be around, I'm sure, longer than then, hopefully.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, China is rising.
Well, it'll be, at the very least, not in our lifetime.
Oh, no.
So who cares?
I would have agreed with you had you qualified it like that.
Yeah, well, what they'll probably do is, and I'm guessing here, but they'll probably start reassigning numbers from dead people.
Which will be weird. A used Social Security number.
Yeah, I imagine they'd go back. I mean, it would make sense to me that they would start from the beginning again almost.
Yeah.
So, like, you're using someone's number from 1935 in the year
2114.
Like yeah, you got a stinky old mothball number.
It's like a wicker wheelchair or something like that. Or like leather leg braces. Something weird like that from the 30s.
What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay. The last 4 digits are the serial numbers. And they number consecutively from 0001 through 9999.
So that's just saying, well, we're going to extend the possible numbers we can come up with.
Exactly.
Even more.
That's
to a
right.
billion. And you know what? You don't even necessarily have to recycle. Even if you add like a 10th digit, how much would that change everything?
I mean, they'd have to rewrite all their programming and all their accountings and filing
Yeah, but then we
systems.
wouldn't have to recycle numbers.
Yeah, good point.
Okay,
Luckily, they have people much smarter than us deciding how to handle that.
I don't know. We're pretty sharp.
All right, Josh, common questions. These are actually pretty good.
Okay, Chuck, here's a question for you. Does everyone have to have a Social Security number?
If you're over 18, then yes, you do. If you receive an income and you're over 18.
Okay.
If you're interested in starting up a bank account, being a deduction on your parents' income taxes,
Yeah.
all sorts of things like that, getting medical coverage, taking advantage of government services, then you're going to need that.
So there's a lot of people who dispute that you have to have that.
Right.
Practically speaking, you do. Like any bank can be like, I'm not doing business with you. And then you say, oh, okay, well, I can't force you to by law, but I'll try your competitor. And you go on down the line and maybe you find a bank. From what I understand, there's banks that are set up in the Midwest for people who don't have Social Security numbers.
Really?
Like who have said, I'm not going to have one. I don't trust the government. I don't want to have a serial number, and I'm not going to have this.
No, but they're still paying in?
Yeah, I think they're still paying in, but they don't have a Social Security number.
So that means they're not going to get benefits at the end.
I don't think they think they're going to get benefits anyway.
I get that.
But yeah, they don't have a Social Security number. I think there are people who don't pay Social Security as well.
Oh,
There's
really?
like a whole that's like a whole topic along the fringe of whether or not you need to have one, whether or not you actually do have to pay in, the constitutionality of it, all that stuff. But for
Right.
all practical purposes, your life is exponentially easier if you have a Social Security number.
Right, and you also said you have to pay because you can't tell the government, you know what, I'm setting up for my own retirement, and I want to take all the available money that I make to do that because my retirement plan is much better than whatever you yokels are working on.
Yeah, because I mean, if you have to pay in 15.3%, I don't know if that's current. I haven't looked.
Uh-huh.
But as of the writing of this article, it was 15.3%. Wow. 7.65% paid by you out of your gross pay, and 7.65% paid by your employer.
It is staggering how much we pay in taxes in this country.
So if you took 15.3% of your gross pay and put it into a 401k over the same course of years, you would have so much more money.
Yeah.
Barring another stock market catastrophe before you could get your money out of your 401k,
Right.
You would have way more than you have from the Social Security Administration as benefits.
You know what I meant to look up is if the government uses this money for other things in the meantime. Or is it strictly like, here, it's in this little pool, and all we're doing is paying people out with it?
Well, supposedly before the baby boom problem arose, it was going in and right back out.
Okay.
And I'm sure any surplus was invested in Treasury bonds. Now, all of the surplus is invested in Treasury bonds, which is just such a shell game. It's so crazy. And no one has any idea if this is going to work. I swear to God, I'm not paranoid.
Yeah.
I don't live in the Midwest. I'm not a fringe dweller. This is not something I keep up with a lot. I don't read WorldNet daily. There's nothing like that in my life.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this is there's no guarantee that this Social Security, bandage for the baby boom population spike, if it's going to work. It's really, at the very least, it's interesting.
Yeah, and the troubling, I would say, at the very least.
Sure.
Okay. They let you, they make it real easy for you to slap a number on your little brand new baby.
Yes. Do you have to have a number for your child?
Well, like I said, if you want them to get medical coverage and open up a savings account in their name for their future college or trade school or travels around the world,
or you want to claim them as a deduction on your tax filing?
yeah, then they're going to need one, and they make it pretty easy on you to get one for your new little smelly baby.
They do. Again, I'm not a fringe dweller, but they have the very sinister sounding enumeration at birth program.
that sounds pretty bad. Yeah.
It was started in 1989, and basically it just made it very easy for you to get a Social Security number for your infant as part of their birth record forms.
Right.
Enumeration at birth.
You know, I think I mentioned this before, I used to carry my card around in my wallet when I was a teenager because I thought it made me legitimate or adult-like. It's interesting. Everyone else is
bona fide.
Everyone else is out drinking, and I was like, no, I got my Social Security card.
It keeps the urges away.
That's right.
Hey, speaking of Social Security cards and wallets, do you want to talk about that lady?
Oh yeah, I can't
Hilda
believe
Schrader
this.
Witcher.
Yeah, this in 1937, dude named Douglas Patterson had a wallet company. I'm sorry,
E.H. Ferry.
Yeah, he was the vice president and treasurer of this wallet company, and he said, "You know what we should do? We should include a fake Social Security card in every wallet."
But we'll make it look really, really realistic by copying yours, Secretary.
Yeah, he basically assigned these little fake cards that, like, you know, you get a picture frame with a fake picture in it.
Yeah.
They gave out they sold wallets with a fake Social Security card with a real number. I don't know why he thought that was a good idea.
Or why she went along with it.
Yeah, what was her name?
Hilda Schrader Witcher. She went along with this.
Did she go along,
really
or did she?
Her boss.
Maybe she didn't know.
No, she knew.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, I guess she didn't feel like she could assert herself at the time. But, over 40 years, something like 40,000 people used her Social Security number?
Yeah, they gave her a new one.
Yeah, and people were still using it. As recently as 1977, there were 12 people using that as their own because of this wallet.
Yeah, in defense of the dude, he did have the word specimen on the bottom of it.
Spaceman?
Specimen. But it was, in small print, and it looked like the real deal. It had the little emblem that, who was the guy who designed that?
Fred Happel.
That's right. And what else did he design?
The Flying Tigers logo.
Yeah.
What was that? Like a B-2 bomber logo?
Well, I don't know. It's World War II. I guess some sort of gunner plane or something.
Okay.
That'd be my guess. The Fighting Hellcats.
Yeah. Flying Hellfish. The Hellfish.
The Hellfish was the Simpsons?
Yeah.
Okay. Josh, can you get a new number?
Yes, but only in very extreme cases.
Like
stalking.
Like stalking or fraud. A bad case of fraud, I guess.
Yeah, I would imagine that the FBI can probably get you one if you're part of the witness protection program.
Oh, sure.
Which we've talked about.
Yeah. You don't have to pay for that. There's no fee from the SSA. But what you should be wary of is companies that claim that they can get you a new number to absolve your credit. Like, hey, have you led an awful bad life? Become a new person. We'll get you a new Social Security number.
Which is hilarious if you think that's crazy. Falling for that. That's like buying an elevator pass in high school as a freshman or something like that, except way worse.
When you have a single floor high school?
Because I'm sure they're like, not only do we charge you a fee, but give us your Social Security number because we have to go in and make sure that it's wiped out.
Right.
Jeez.
Where are we here? The title of this section was, Why Does It Matter If Someone Knows My Social Security Number? I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Identity theft.
Yeah.
It's a big problem these days. Back in the old days, it wasn't as much.
It's actually gone down since this article.
400,000 a year is what they said here, right?
It's like 217 now.
Oh, that's good.
Well, that's the ones that the FTC gets reports of, which are probably the lion's share of them.
Right.
But it was supposedly increasing by some crazy percentage.
Yeah, 40% per year.
It's up 11%.
Okay.
So it's gone down some. I think people have just gotten scared of it and more wary about it. But, it's still obviously a pretty big problem.
Sure.
Part of the problem, though, is that we shouldn't be using Social Security numbers for identification for a reason. They're just way too publicly available.
Even the last four digits, don't use that as your PIN number.
No, but even if somebody asks you your last four digits, how many people have your last four digits? How many companies do?
A lot.
A lot. And they also have your birth date.
Yeah.
They also have where you were born, your mother's maiden name. It's just kind of it's all out there.
I know.
And basically, there's no really good scheme to, I guess, use as a passcode, as basically a way of saying I am me.
Right.
Because if we all just relied on some other number or something like that, then people could find that out. There's really no good way to do it. But Social Security numbers are definitely not the answer.
Yeah, I always get a little creeped out when some business, what are the last, like Comcast or something, like my cable company, will say, what are your last four of your social? And I'll spit it out, and they'll go, oh, okay. Right.
You can say, I don't want to tell you. I want to answer everything else, and they'll run you through your paces.
But they know it because they're asking you for for verification.
Exactly, because you've given it to them already. Basically most companies don't have any legal right to ask you what your Social Security number is.
Right.
But they can also say, well, we don't trust you, so if you don't give it to us when you open your account or whatever,
exactly,
then you're out of luck. With government agencies, you can ask for the Privacy Act of 1974 disclosure notice, which says, like, hey, we have a legal right to ask you this, or we don't.
Right.
And then you can say, you can't ask me that, bub. But, yeah.
All the protection advice I give in here is pretty basic. Don't carry your card in your wallet. Cancel credit cards you don't use. Don't share it when not necessary.
I dispute that one.
What?
Don't just cancel credit cards you don't use. There are things you should do, like keep an eye on your accounts, your credit card accounts,
sure,
even though you don't use them. But that's not necessarily good advice, especially credit-wise, because there's this thing called the available credit to debt ratio.
Yeah.
It's one of the ratios that they figure your credit score with. And if you have a clean credit card that you're not using, that has like $5 or $10 grand of available credit on it,
sure,
that counts, and that makes you very attractive to people who are selling you houses or cars or whatever.
That's true.
So don't necessarily go do that. Keep them in a safe deposit box. Keep an eye on all your accounts, even if you're not using them.
Yeah. Boy, my credit rating is so good right now.
That's awesome, dude.
It's like top 5 percentile somehow.
Oh, yeah?
And that is, I say that as a testament to you out there who may have bad credit. You can repair it over time.
Yeah, you and Emily did good, huh?
Well, yeah. She's the one that helped me get my good credit back.
That's good.
As CFO.
Congratulations, man. That's a big deal.
Thank you. It is good. And my debts, from the past were, I don't want to get into it, but they had less to do with me and more to do with like
bookies, heroin, dog fighting,
bad roommates, and getting screwed over by, like, hey, you were supposed to pay this Georgia Power bill 8 years ago, and it's still in my name, and I didn't even know about it. That kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And just being lazy in college. Like,
college kills a lot of people.
Yeah, I missed my credit card payment. No big deal. I'll just pay it next month.
Right. I'm just going to go buy some heroin instead. I know what you were doing in college, Chuck.
Not that.
So I guess that's about it, huh?
Yeah. One more piece of advice, which is actually good. Every few years, go to the SSA website and request a copy of your earnings and benefit estimate statement.
Yeah, have you heard of this before?
No, and I've never done it, and I'm going to go do it today.
All right, let's go do it together. We'll both go do yours together.
We'll be like, what? I've been working since I was 13, so I imagine I'm doing pretty good.
Nice. Oh, we didn't talk about that. The system is weighted. The whole reason it was instituted was to help make sure that people don't fall through the cracks or whatever, and to help the poor more than the wealthy. Although you get more money out the more money you put in, right?
Which is based on your income, so the more you make, the more you pay in.
But it's also disproportionately weighted so that the people who are earning the least get a disproportionate amount out to help them.
Correctamundo.
Which is great. It's socialism at its finest, as you said. So, yeah, that's about it. That's Social Security numbers and pretty much Social Security. I don't think we need to do that again.
Okay.
Hats off to FDR. Hurrah, New Deal.
Hurrah.
Great Society.
Chicken in every pot.
That was Hoover.
A number on every forehead.
Nice, Chuck.
Thank you.
We'll end it with that one. If you want to know more about Social Security numbers, you can read this exhaustive article about them. by typing in Social Security in the search bar at howstuffworks.com, which means it's time for listener mail.
Josh, I'm going to call this following up on zero. That one got a lot more attention than I thought. All the math nerds came out and were like, zero. Very happy that we did that. And one such nerd emailed us. This is Steven, and he says, I think I might be able to put your mind to rest on a couple of those zero properties. And a lot of people try to explain this, and I think he did the best. First, dividing by zero, I find it helpful to think of division as separating objects into containers. See, this guy is like talking up my alley.
Yeah, containers.
I can visualize stuff a lot better this way. So if you have 5 objects in 5 containers, you would put 1 object in each container. You still have the same number of objects, but divided evenly across containers.
Okay.
Now, if you have 5 objects in no containers, in other words, dividing by 0,
okay,
you still have all the same objects, but they have not been put anywhere. You can't say that you'd put 0 per container because it's not a lack of items, but rather a lack of containers. So dividing by 0 means you have things, but nothing to contain them, so a ratio cannot be formed.
Awesome.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
As for the raising to the zeroth power, this is 1 because our basis of numerology is the number 1. All things larger are functions of how many ones it holds, and all things larger define how many need to be combined to form a 1. This, combined with the fact that exponents don't describe a multiplication, but rather a number of times a base measurement will be multiplied by a factor, means that if the base measurement is never multiplied by the factor, you are left with the base alone. So, there you have it. It's tempting to think of these numbers as 1 to the power, but unfortunately this is wrong.
Can you go over that again?
No. I can't. That is from Steven, a junior software engineer.
Thanks, Steven.
And so I will take him at his word.
Yeah, he sounds like he's got it down.
Yeah, the containers, that makes total sense to me now.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
So thanks, Steven, junior software engineer. We are looking forward to you becoming a senior software engineer, likely in the near future from your email. And if you have some sort of illumination about a previous podcast, doesn't matter how old it is, we always like hearing new stuff about old stuff.
Sure.
You can send it in an email to, first tweet to us, okay? SYSK Podcast, Facebook.com/StuffYouShouldKnow, and then the email, StuffPodcast@Discovery.com.
Be sure to check out our new video podcast, Stuff from the Future. Join How Stuff Works staff as we explore the most promising and perplexing possibilities of tomorrow. Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you?
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.